Stress is so funny. You high, you smoking. I said no, but I was just meditating. Forget about the purpose, but the focus on the balance in life. And focus is the most important thing in life. Stress is a mindset. You can alert stress on and you can click off stress off. I will define stress as something that take a toll on your body, something that we as individuals put on ourselves. It could be boredom and it could be unbearable at the same time.
Quite often we don't really notice ourselves how
Mm-hmm.
much stress we're under until we get someone to reflect it back on us.
I realized that sales is not just a job opportunity, but a career passion for me.
If you don't have your physical needs met, you don't have energy, and they usually find out that they either don't have goals, not enough challenges, or they don't have big enough dreams to motivate them to get out of the bed.
Zig Ziglar said it best. You can get everything in life you want if you help other people get what they want. And my dream is to help people. Once it is you keep your eye on the prize and you are focused and you are going down that straight road and you're not looking left or right, that you are not as focused as that individual. So nothing is wrong, but you just have to find that focus. What keeps me to be focused is that I want to be able to leave this earth with a legacy. I would like people to know that believe in yourself. You yourself can do anything. Your mind is powerful.
Let's start. So, welcome everyone. My name is Tuoms. I'm mindset and yoga coach, and this is our podcast interview series, Love Your Stress. And today we have awesome guest Antonio, and I will let Antonio introduce himself. So,
Okay. So thank Toms for having me. My name, as you know, is Antonio Prescott, and I love sales. How I got into sales growing up, this guy who was my deceased father friend, he told me, "Hey, Antonio, I have a great deal for you." I said, "What is that?" He said, "This lady is selling a vehicle for a very reasonable price. Let's go and check it out." So we checked out the vehicle. It was a Nissan Sunny vehicle. The color of the vehicle was red. And the lady was going through some financial difficulty. And she was like, "I'm selling this vehicle for approximately USD 1,000." And I was like, okay, because the vehicle looked great, the body, the engine, everything. So I said, yes, I will take it. So I took the vehicle and I was able to fix the vehicle a little bit and sold this vehicle at 100% profit. And since then, sales has always been in my mind because I was like, if I can make 100% profit off of this vehicle, yes, it was a still of a deal, but if I get other vehicles and other items in the future to purchase and then resell, even if I make 20% profit, 40% profit, it's still profit at the end of the day. And from that journey to now, I realized that sales is not just a job opportunity, but a career passion for me.
mm, awesome. And just a random
Thanks.
question for you, just to not to take too seriously things. Because you said the first deal was a red Nissan. Is that the reason why
Mhm.
your poster behind is in red colors and your uh, name is also in red font?
Not really. It's just that, I wanted something that to be bright and I didn't want to use like blue or yellow. So I just went with red.
Awesome.
But my favorite color is really blue.
Yeah, it's I see three colors behind there, like predominantly. It's the red,
Yeah.
which is the poster background, then and a
Hmm.
font of your name, and then there's a blue, which is the website, which is kind of a. Also, you have a blue headphones as well,
Yes.
wires.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So let's start interview about the stress. So before we can actually start talking about stress, I
Mhm.
always believe that we need to get on the same page so we understand each other. So my first question to you is, how would you define stress?
Hmm. I will define stress as something that take a toll on your body that you cannot perform throughout your day and even in time to come. And stress is something that we only just realize we have stress when it is our body is not feeling the way how it's supposed to feel. And stress is a mindset. You can alert stress on and you can click off stress off. So it's up to you. You are the main factor behind your stress. So you have to know that, all right, this is stressing me out. Let me try to do an activity or try to relieve my mind by doing something else to get away that stress. So stress is something that we as individuals put on ourselves based on our circumstances, conditions, etc.
So I really loved your definition. Just to clarify it and make it a bit more concise. So would you say, if I understand you correctly, that for you stress is a mindset and it's something we can put on ourselves or take it off by decision?
Yes, correct.
And
I would
if
say
we
that.
put it on, yeah. So, and on top of that, because you were mentioning also the body in the beginning, so if we put it on, then we feel it in the body, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. If you do decide to put the stress onto yourself or you're subconsciously making this decision, how do you feel it in your body, the stress?
You feel that you cannot do anything for the entire day. You feel down, you want to go and lie down, you want to go, and take a nap, hoping that when it is you awake, that the stress will go away when the stress is still there. The best way to relieve stress to me is exercising. And also, everyone have their own religion. So not discrediting any one religion. Our next idea also is to pray about it to whatever religion that you believe in.
So why do you think, like we all know about the exercise part, that it relieves stress, gets the blood pumping, gets the cortisol, all the hormones out of the body, and just activates yourself. How about praying? Like, do you have any ideas why praying works for you? Have you thought about it?
Well, I pray because I believe in, one creator. So everyone have their own interpretations. So as I mentioned from before, everybody religion is different. But I believe when I sit down and I read my Bible each and every day, that build my faith, that build my wisdom and understanding of life. And I tend to focus much better as an individual.
Yeah, that makes sense because in the previous podcasts, we covered the topic that socializing and getting out of the mind is one of the ways how to battle the stress, how to get in friends with it. And as we're talking about this, how would you describe your relationship with stress?
I will describe my relationship with stress presently as very good because I know how to deal with stress when stress comes my way. Not everybody could deal with stress when it comes their way. They do not know what to do. But how I realize that to deal with stress is by just praying about it, to be honest. Just praying about it. And like, I will share something. Yesterday, I went on a 3-hour fast from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And as I finished my fast, 12:01, I got a call, and that call was an interview for a job opportunity. So it's just to show you when it is that you meditate, and you think about, the positives in life, your mentality now, and it come like you're speaking out to the universe, positivity, and positivity will come your way. It's like, okay, try being positive for the entire day and see how great your day go. And try doing that for 365 days in the year. And you will see that things will be better. It may not be as good as you want it to be at first, but as time go by and you think about positivity, you will see positive results.
Awesome. So it also goes into the, because you have sounds like you have such a good relationship with stress. What's your take on the topic of my podcast, Love Your Stress?
I believe that is something very great because right now, a lot of people is going through stress. They don't know how to deal with stress. A lot of people that highlighting their stress because if you have stress, nothing wrong is reaching out with someone to find out, how to overcome the stress. And it's only when it is that you have a one-on-one conversation, it is
Mhm.
realized the amount of stress that individuals are facing. They may not want to come out and say because they will feel ashamed, they will feel hurt, they will feel like someone may try to even force more stress into their life. And sometimes that is not the idea. Sometimes it's just about someone trying to help someone. So your podcast, your life coaching on stress relieving is something unique and it's much needed in today's society due to the pandemic that we are facing right now. Many people lost their jobs, lost all their savings, lost their family members, so you need um, that coaching in terms of how to deal with your stress levels.
Yeah, I love the answer. Like we quite often we don't really notice ourselves how
Mm-hmm.
much stress we're under until we get someone to reflect it back on us.
Yeah.
Could be a friend, colleague, family, or coach, or anyone else for that matter. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it takes those deep and honest questions which family or friends would not ask because they feel like it would bother them, or so that's why coaching comes in really great.
So true.
And yeah, because before you were talking about how you feel stress, and it's for me it sounded more like into the boredom part, because how I love to look at the stress is
Mm-hmm.
that stress has two polar opposites. There's a boredom and overwhelm, and like in between, there's this sweet spot where we actually want to be. And from the description you gave me, sounds like you're more towards the boredom part. So whenever you feel like whenever you feel like there's a stress and you associate it with the lack of stress, actually, that's how I
Mm-hmm.
see it. Would you agree with that?
Um, Stress, I would say in between because the stress sometimes come in different ways, as you rightfully said. It
Mm-hmm.
comes sometimes in the bottom part and it comes sometimes in the part that, it's unbearable.
Mm-hmm.
So stress is so funny because some people can be stressful by their job because by doing
Mm-hmm.
mundane tasks, on a daily aspect, that can
Mm-hmm.
bring stress levels on because you want to do something that, actually developing yourself, developing your skills. You want to grow in an organization, you want to grow, in a business, whether it be, a small business that you have. So stress is could be boredom and it could be unbearable at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So according to what stress come on you at that point in time, you have to know how to deal with that stress. And I always go with the idea that your perception is your reality. So based on the conditions that you are facing in life, that do not necessarily say that you would not be successful. That doesn't necessarily say that you would not achieve the things in life that you want to achieve. It's all about in the mind, which is the most lethal part of our body.
Yeah, I completely agree with you that our mindset is the director of the movie we are experiencing here. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious. Probably it wasn't your belief and mindset always, right? So how did you came up to this conclusion in your life? Do you have like a specific story you could share, or something that people can understand? Why, how come that you have this belief? Yeah, that would be my question.
Okay, well, to be honest with you, November 2019 was the first time that I went to Miami. And
Mm-hmm.
when I went to Miami, I went South Beach and I was sitting down um, by Miami there where it have the long concrete bench, basically. And I sat down there for like a while. And this guy passed and he was like, hey, what's up? What country you from? And we chatted. And he passed again. I was like an hour or 2 hours. And he said, hey, but you wasn't sitting down here for the longest time. I said, yes, I'm not, you high, you smoking? I said, no. But I was just meditating because my dream was to always travel to go Miami. Once it is that I
Hmm.
travel to go Miami, I believe that, I accomplish one of my goals, and which is a goal that, living in the Caribbean, visas just be given out to individuals, but not everyone will be able to get a visa, the
Hmm.
first try. So I was able to get a visa for the first try, a 10-year
Hmm.
visa. And I was like, real excited about it. And I said that let me book my trip one time. And sitting down there at that point in time, everything in my life going good in terms of finances, but I did not have that inner peace. So I sat
Hmm.
down there and saying, look, I fulfilled one of my purposes by coming to Miami, coming to South Beach. That was like Memorial Weekend and, activities going on, but I'm not feeling that inner peace. And I question
Hmm.
myself as to life is not about a purpose, but it's about a balance. And it's that when I start to delve deeper into my spirituality to find that inner peace.
So what amazing story. And I love how you actually sat down
Thank you.
to enjoy the
Mm-hmm.
moment instead of just rushing by, which is something that some people would be geared towards more likely because of the how fast-paced environment we're living and how
Mm-hmm.
society pressures us to have those goals, have those targets. And I was just curious. They have something to look forward now, like another dream, another goal. Because what I've noticed, especially for the people who mm, there are two types of people generally. Like I also loved how you approached the situation in the sense that instead of looking at it as a horizontal line, boredom and
Mm-hmm.
stress, the boredom and overwhelm, you just said no. There's just different flavors, different varieties of stress. So it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
spectrum of stress, how it comes to you. So people who mostly receive the boredom part of the stress, they usually find out that they either don't have goals, not enough challenges, or they don't
Mm-hmm.
have big enough dreams to motivate them to get out of the bed. So I was wondering, how are you deal with this aspects of your life? Do you have dreams, goals, desires, and maybe you want to share some of them?
Well, yes, I have dreams, and my dreams realign because I realize life is not the way that I thought it to be. And
Mm-hmm.
some people dream might be to travel the world, which is something good to understand people's culture. But my dream is by helping enough people. Zig
Mm-hmm.
Ziglar said it best. You can get everything in life you want if you help other people get what
Mm-hmm.
they want. And my dream is to help people in terms of not even like motivation, but if it is that I could be able in the future, and not even in the future, like maybe next week, the month after, to feed a family of two, a family of three, feed 4, 5 families, because we are seeing many people who, spend a lot of money on things that to them will be great. But seeing how the world is and many countries are not in a situation, or certain states or certain territories might not be getting sufficient food, sufficient necessities of life. And then after we live in a life of lavishness, and it's like, no. So my dream is to help enough people, whether it be motivation and for them to reach that next pillar in life, and also by feeding families also too, because I believe that, out of a good heart, when you do these things and not advertise it, blessings will come your way. So me doing that, I would not be posting it on social media to advertise that I am doing this. I will do it, from the my heart.
Yeah, sounds like a really awesome purpose you defined here, and
Mhm.
I can imagine how it fills you up with this gratitude, love, and just peace of mind whenever you have these opportunities provided to help other people's and seeing other people's doing better in their lives, feeling better is also one of my passions. It's also why I love
Yeah.
coaching, and I can completely understand that this is something that actually I would say all of us are striving to. It's just that
Mhm.
those different ways and different hows, actually, how we decide what's the best way of helping people. And yeah, the food and comfort and shelter, as you said,
Yeah.
those are like basic needs. And if we don't have those met, then according to Maslow's pyramid, as we all know, if you don't have your physical needs met, you don't have energy and
So true.
capacity for
Yeah.
any higher dreams and wishes. So yeah, because we have said stress is inner mindset,
Yeah.
and I was curious, what's your take on a cause of the stress? Have you actually thought, where is it coming from? Because sometimes people tend to blame themselves when it's like a unpleasant thought comes to them, and then they
Mhm.
engage with it, start ruminating on it, and entertaining this thought, and asking some disempowering questions like why me and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I was curious, have you ever wondered about what causes us to be stressed?
I'm stressed by not being accepted by people. Some people feel stressful when it is they're not accepted by, let's say, a demographic of people in terms of class. So they may come from a city which is not um, a city of richness, and they may want to be accepted by a certain demographic of people, and they will not have that opportunity. Any work environment also, you working at a company, but the managers, you want to be, chilling with them, liming with them, but you're not given the opportunity and you feel, not worthy of a person. Peer pressure also, because someone want to influence you to do something which you do not want to do, but if it is you do not do it now, it's like, I would not be accepted by them and you want to be accepted, so you are forced to do something that you do not want to do. So that's like two ideas there. And also, people feel stress when it is that they realize that they cannot, reach from one pillar to the next, whether it based on financial, whether it based on they may not have the intellect, to really pass that exam. And it's not to say that you don't have the intellect, it's the focus is not there. Because once it is you keep your eye on the prize and you are focused and you are going down that straight road and you're not looking left or right, you will achieve it. It's just that some people achieve their success faster than others. So, like, let's say someone is going to do their bachelor's.
Mm.
One person may get a bachelor's within 2 years or 3 years, and another person may take 5 or 10 years. But at the end of the day, you will receive your bachelor's. It's just that your timing might just be at a slower rate than someone else because you're not realizing how to get that focus, or it's not that that person is smarter than you, is that you are not as focused as that individual.
Mm.
So nothing is wrong, but you just have to find that focus, and sometimes that way a coach coming to realign that focus to you because Michael Jordan, he had Tim Grover as his coach for 15 years, and he
Mm-hmm.
told Tim Grover he do not want him to coach anyone else. Reason being, because he want Tim Grover, the tactics that Tim Grover is telling him, he don't want anyone else to know those tactics. So if it wasn't for Tim Grover, let's be real, Michael Jordan may not be Michael Jordan in the past, and then he wouldn't be recognized globally as the best basketball player. Some may say LeBron James, but I will say Michael Jordan. So that's just some um, ideas that I had about the stress.
I completely agree with you. The keeping focus is one of the main objectives and also main cures for the stress as well. So it depends where you put that headlight on, is that's where you're gonna see your life going, and that's also will contribute. And out of curiosity, you don't have to answer this question. What helps you to keep your focus? Do you have a coach or you have some other practices, or what keeps you to keep this focus?
What keeps me to be focused
Yeah.
is that I want to be able to leave this earth with a legacy. And
Mm,
some of my legacies, one is to write a book, right? That is a legacy because when you
mm-hmm,
die and you have a book, that will be everlasting, right?
mm-hmm,
Creating video content will be everlasting also, So that is something that I love to do, create video content, because let's be real, the world is going into video. Like look at Instagram, for example. Instagram is now trying to come out with video content only when TikTok and other platforms are on that video process going forward. So I want to be able to help people, and that is my goal, to be focused, because I believe,
mm.
despite that I might be 35 years of age, I believe that I see everything in the world thus far, and my focus, to me as an individual, should be now on my journey of helping people, because 35 and under is when I enjoyed life. Go from point A to point B, did this, did that, did wrong things, did good things, understand the both sides. And now it's just to be focused, because life is radical and we can't be doing the same thing each and every time. As they get older, age supposed to bring wisdom, but not everybody grow with wisdom as with the age as time go by. So it have people who men, because they say women tend to mature faster than men. It have men who is 40, 45, who is still living a life of wrongdoing. But I believe that 35 is an age that, going forward, some people might say it's young, but I would say that it's always a great time to start now than to procrastinate. So my objective from now going forward is just by delivering advice to people who need it and trying to help as much people as possible. So by doing this podcast, by creating video content, once it is I could touch one person, let me say each day for 365 days, from now till I die, that is many people that I could touch. So it's not to say that I want to be popular, but it's just about helping people going forward.
So beautiful hearing that in a short summary, what keeps
Thank
you
you.
to uh, keeps you in a focus is
Mhm.
this vision of leaving legacy and helping at least one person a day, every day.
Correct.
And I'm so happy and grateful that I'm able to contribute with this podcast to help even more maybe people. And just yeah, it's so beautiful answer. And
Thank you.
and before we go, because I already starting to round this interview up, I always
Mhm.
love to ask people, do you have any recommendations for my next guest? Is there anyone specifically you would love to, for me to reach out to invite them as a next guest?
Yes, sure. My great friend Ashley Lynch,
Mm-hmm.
that would be an awesome young lady that you could reach out to. I will even message her afterwards so
Mm-hmm.
that she will expect your message and she will be able to come on the podcast, because she's a young lady. She's a mom of two kids, and right now it's been challenging because her spouse, he is working right now and she's not working, so she have to manage the two kids. And in terms of
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic, the job opportunities is not, prevalent as from before. So
Mm-hmm.
she have to deal with a stress level, and she will share some nice insights, because we, both
Yeah.
of us, we communicate on a daily aspect, and we talk about scenarios. She talk about
Mm-hmm.
scenarios. She call me for advice, same way. So we have that connection going forward. So
Mm-hmm.
she'll be a great person to be on your as a next guest going forward.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And do you have like a final quote, like your one thing you would love people to know or remember? Maybe your mantra or just a favorite prayer or just a sentence or something for people to remember you want to share and let them know.
Yes, thank you. I would like people to know that believe in yourself. You yourself can do anything. Your mind is powerful. Though people may tell you, let's go here, let's go there, you have to be focused. We know the world is changing. We know that people tend to be not nice. Sometimes we wonder why it is that people in our lives hurt us. It could be even our family. It could be our loved ones. But we have to be strong. your mind is the most lethal weapon that you have. Yes, it might just be only words that I'm saying here, but as time go by, you get to understand life much better. And before something tragic is to happen, when it is, you hear that inner voice in you that talks to you so calmly and tell you, hey, Laura, hey, Jacob, do not do this. Just pick up yourself, leave, focus on this. You will succeed. Listen to that inner voice because most of the times we are hearing that inner voice inside of us and we disregard it. And then after, when something tragic comes and happen, we will be like, why it is that I did not listen to that inner voice? It's because we always feel that people will always be there for us. But sometimes your brother could be your worst enemy, but the friend that you meet yesterday can be that brother to replace your brother who you watch as the worst enemy. So these are things that I would like for you to take in consideration, and it's all a learning process. And yes, it's hard, but you as the individual have to be focused. And focus is the most important thing in life. When you focus and have that right balance, forget about the purpose, but the focus on the balance in life. Once you balance everything, you balance your work life, you balance your marriage, you balance your relationship, you balance your spirituality, everything in life will be great for you because you will have a purpose in life. And when you fulfill that purpose, what will happen? You will want to find a next purpose. And then after, if you fulfill all those purposes, you will get bored. So be a person of balance and focus and see great things happen in your life.
Awesome. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
sharing these words of wisdom about keeping focus, balance, and believing in yourself. Thank you very much for attending my podcast.
You're
And
welcome.
I wish you an awesome day. Smile and be present and love your
Same to you.
stress. Thank you.
Great. And thanks for having me, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.